Hey guys, I've got a 10-minute game up on the board, and my opponent started with d4. I'm going to play the Leningrad Dutch with f5. So this is kind of similar to the King's Indian defense, because we're going to have the knight come out, pawn forward, bishop here, but the big difference is you've played f5, and this move aims to prevent e4. So normally you might have to play d6 to prevent e4, e5, if you're going to put your knight here. Okay, started with that. Fairly quiet move. Maybe his intention is to push g4, we don't know. My opponent's rated 923. This would really open up his king side though. Let's see what he does. This is a 1:15 game for me, so... Ooh, very, very slow. Okay, let's bring the knight out. Knight out now controlling center squares. Now this is not an option, because if he moves there I can take, if he takes I can recapture with the knight. And defend the knight with the bishop, maybe, if it's on there. So the idea is bishop g7, castle kingside. Wow, he's just throwing pawns at me, isn't he? Okay, I'm not concerned. So he's got no development so far, he hasn't moved a single piece. I've moved two, so I have two pieces developed. And I'm ready to castle. White is a long way off from castling. Okay, is this his idea? I feel comfortable, I'm okay with this. He might play g4. In which case I'll probably just push that. And if he wants to capture now, I'll recapture with my bishop, and then I've got three pieces out in the board. And his king side is shattered, but his queen side also is very bad. How's he going to get his king safe? This stuff matters, guys. Okay, interesting. So I'm thinking my knight could actually come to h5. The idea of maybe jumping in there. Or it could come here. Let's put him there. He can't be harassed by a pawn there. And also, now that my opponent's king is not castled, I can make sense to strike in the middle, in the center of the board. Can always play here, force the rook to move, capture the bishop, and that would force the king to move and lose castling rights, and also I get rid of a bishop. We have quite a nice open board right now, so after king takes... Okay, so now we can't castle. So now I'm thinking it might be good to fianchetto this bishop as well, target this corner. The rook's undefended. This pawn's undefended. So e5 or e6 now would come with a discovered attack on this pawn. You might want to push this pawn, but that's all good for me. So if that, yeah, if pawn takes, bishop takes, and look, I'm targeting actually not these squares, both rooks. Okay, so I'm going to push e5. If pawn takes, bishop recaptures with a fork on both rooks. All right, and now my queen is looking at this pawn. I think I should go ahead and take that. Let's just think this through. So if queen takes here, let's say he pushes that. I can always just push and block up the bishop. Queen takes. Rook's actually undefended. So I could even come in here even. Okay, let's try that. Let's grab the pawn. Probably expecting this. But even then, pushing the pawn would be good. I have a light squared bishop and he doesn't, so I could even put my bishop around here. Check the king there. Okay, I'm just going to push the pawn. Grab the space, really neutralize this guy. This bishop is now really bad. Can't go onto any of these squares. Alright. My bishop's looking at this pawn. It's defended just by the rook right now. What can I do with this knight? Here, 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 there. Okay, let's engage the knight. Knight engaged. This bishop right now doesn't have much job to do. Ooh, I'm in danger of the queen getting trapped. Not really. But I only have one square to go to, or two squares to go to. Let's go here with the idea that the knight can still go to that square. And we have sound effects from ducks now. Knight here. Might even move the bishop, give my queen an escape. Lots and lots of pawns. But his problem early on is he's not developed any pieces. Okay, the knight's now coming to look at this, so what can we do about that? I can lift the rook. That's okay, gives my bishop a square, and my queen a square. Because he's lost his g-pawn, that makes his attack a bit weaker on this side of the board. His bishop's stuck, his rook's stuck. Let's kick the knight away. Now he's going to have to put it in front of his bishop. And I'm thinking knight to here. Maybe swap off the knight, get rid of pawns, that's no bad thing. So if I put my knight there, he takes, I take back. Alright. If I take, pawn takes, queen takes. Currently I'd lose a pawn there. You see, if knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes there. So maybe I need to bring my bishop around. Get another attacker on there, I don't know. Right, push this pawn, takes, queen takes. I'm going to move the bishop. Okay, the queen can't go anywhere down this diagonal, that's okay. So I don't know why she moved there actually. Is the idea to come here? We don't know. Now, knight in there, same deal. Move my queen out of line of the rook. I want to bring this bishop into the action. So one idea is to push these pawns and then bishop on a6 on this diagonal. But maybe there are possibilities of using these squares later on, so I'm okay to leave my bishop there for now. Right now, the queen and king are on that diagonal, so we might have ideas of swapping stuff off. That pawn's defended. So if I was to push now, there my pawn takes, my knight's undefended. So I think I want to push this pawn now. It's an interesting situation, but my opponent's got at least a couple of pieces that are really playing no active part in the game, whereas most of my pieces are controlling something. So if I was to take, knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, the queen's there, there's no knights, no pawns, and the queen's on here. Okay, he's pushed. I can attack the knight. Knight can't go there. Knight would have to retreat again. No, he hasn't pushed, he's moved his knight. Excuse me. I'm going to just attack the knight with my bishop. Get the bishop off the back rank. That looks fine. Knight's going to have to retreat anyway. And now my bishop can actually come straight to here. If the knight's there, it could take, but might be time to break through with pawns, as long as my king's safety is okay. Okay, he's sacked his knight. Attacking my rook now. So queen takes, this pawn's undefended. The rook is kind of undefended, but queen f8 defends both. Yep. So we've now changed our focus. Now knight coming in here is a bit more of a threat, because if knight takes and pawn takes, he can't recapture with the queen. I have bishop to there as well, that's a nice move. Opens up the 7th rank for my rook. Okay, I'm just going to pop the bishop straight away there. If I can take out this knight, then I now have g3 as an outpost for my knight, which is good. Also maybe ideas of get my queen on here. So queen on there, knight takes, queen takes, no. It's interesting. Should I take out the knight? I don't think I should take out the knight. So knight here, knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Nothing really happening. So maybe he's just defending this pawn. Perhaps I should centralize my rook. Get it onto the semi-open C file. Just increasing pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. I've also got now the option of my other rook to c7 with a barrage against his pawn here. I'm just over 3 minutes on the clock, so I can't hang around too much. Okay, is he attacking my bishop? Am I concerned? Oh, he's also got a discovered defense there. So let's centralize the rook anyway. I'd like to put my knight in here soon. He's playing quite a good game though. Queen here with 2 attackers on that pawn. Right now if the queen should move, it's another idea. Or in fact I can block it. I can block the queen with knight there, then queen here, and then I can take that pawn freely. Okay, recapture the knight. Need to move with purpose now. So I think queen e7 is coming. I think knight g3. He's actually defended pretty well here. Of course, he still has a very bad bishop. Okay, let's play the queen to here to defend that pawn. Oh, I took my other pawn. Yeah, well done, well done. Okay, my bishop's now defended only by the knight, so I'm going to propose a trade of queens. Got to make him think now. We're both down to 2.5 minutes. Alright, he doesn't like that idea. Okay, let's bring the knight into the action. He wants to take this pawn. Ha! That's well played. Okay, missed it. Completely missed it. Alright, so I can counterattack his queen here, or I can attack there. You take my queen, I take yours. And he can't take the pawn. He takes my queen, I take his queen. Okay. If he goes here, I take his queen. Ooh, do I? If he goes here, I just grab the pawn, I think. Wow. Wow, it's hotted up. Takes my queen, I take his queen. If he advances, I can just go to here and block off the pawn and then take it. Interesting times. Alright, so now he's looking at the pawn again. This looks safe. Pawn's defended twice. Rook's defended. Might even have ideas of this. He's down to a minute and a half. Okay. Right, let's grab a free pawn with ideas of move the knight, winning a rook. Discovered check. Simple tactics, right? Because I'm a lot more experienced, I guess, than my opponent, I get to see those tactics a bit quicker. Okay. Good move. But check now. Can't go there. He's got to go onto a light square. My knight is on a light square. Okay, so now I can check again, or I can simply win the rook. Let's take the rook. Okay, and now 1 minute 20. How can we convert this situation? Let's propose a trade of queens. If he wants to push his pawn, I'll simply capture. I'm up in material, basically up a rook for a pawn. Okay, there we have that. And now we can't push the pawn. And he's down to under a minute on the clock. I'm just over a minute. Okay, I'm going to block. King can't go there or there, right. So he's got ideas of... Put my bishop here just to block ideas off. Rook could come in, but then I'm going to come up to here. If he goes there, I take. In fact, I just take with the bishop. Okay. Let's come across here and harass the rook. 33, 32, 31. Okay. Let's attack the bishop. Let's make him think. Give him problem after problem after problem. Push another pawn. I'm going to attack the bishop again. 20 seconds now. Not sure of the point of that. Okay, and now let's attack the rook. Comes here, I take. Not a problem. Come back here. 10 seconds. Push. I'm going to get the bishop off that diagonal. 4 seconds. Now this pawn is on prise. Take the bishop. 1 second and it's all over. Whew! Well done. Well done. Good game. Have to say good game for that one. That was really good. Yeah, interesting one. Interesting one. Using the clock as a weapon. Opponent played pretty well though, I have to say. Interesting little game. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.